Hello and welcome everybody. I am Bonnie Bruder and you're watching the Ask Bon Bon Show. Real conversations about what matters most, where we bring you the people and the tools to create the life that you love. Today I am so excited because we have some incredible guests. And I'm just getting back from my world tour. I have been in 7 different countries in 8 days in the last couple of weeks. And I got to meet some really incredible people in television and really got to learn about the direction that TV is going and digital. And so it just made me so happy and so grateful to have this show and for all of you for being our viewers. So thank you so much. And today, like every other day, I am going to introduce you to some truly, truly incredible people that are out there moving and shaking and making the world a better place. So this first guest just flew in. He is hot off the plane, and he is an author, a speaker. He's a self-leadership expert. I am so excited to introduce everybody to Kevin Ormond. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Nice of you.
Yeah, well, it's my pleasure. And so tell our viewers that might not be familiar, what is a self-leadership expert?
Well, leadership starts with leading yourself. Until you can lead yourself effectively, you can't effectively lead anybody else. As you learn to lead yourself more effectively, then you have the ability and then you start being able to lead others effectively. And so that's what it boils down to.
You know, it's funny that you say that. So we were having a conversation before the show started about being an older child.
Yes.
And I remember when we had my little brother, I wanted to be in charge of him because I feel like he wasn't doing things right. And my mom would always say, go do your life perfect, come back and see me and I'll put you in charge of your brother.
Yeah.
And I guess it was really good advice because you really do have to get your own. I'm still working on that.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, but you know,
it's always a work in progress.
Right.
Always is.
Yeah, but I think that is really poignant that you have to really have yourself solid first before you can.
Well, you do, and it's a parallel process because the reality is if you waited until you were perfect, you'd never get anything done. So it is a parallel process. But as you get better and better, then the other side gets better and better.
Yes, very true. And you're an author. You have a couple of books. Tell our viewers, what do we have here?
Well, this one is Me Incorporated, or Me Inc., Your Life is Your Business. Most people spend more time planning a vacation than they do their life. They don't know how to balance it. And balance, in fact, is not the goal. Balance is not what you want. What you want is harmony, which is beyond balance. Balance is a stepping stone. But most people have chaos.
Yes.
And so balance is better, but harmony is better.
Yes.
And so that's really where we want to go. So this one, I wrote this, 18 months ago or so. It's been on the bestseller list for about 15 months solid now.
Wow,
and,
congratulations.
Thank you. And then when I got my very first copy of this, my very first proof copy, knock, knock, knock on my door about an hour later, 2 little granddaughters, 8 and 10, show up at my door. And they come in and I bring this thing out like a proud papa and I say, you know what, tomorrow you can go to school, you're going to be the only kids in your class whose grandpa's a published author, thinking that would matter to them, right?
Right.
The older one, about 10 at the time, she says, is it a kid's book? So after I picked my ego up off the floor, I said, no, honey, it's not. And then I thought about it, and I thought, what a wonderful idea. So I registered the domain name minimeinc.com.
Okay.
Mini-Me Inc. is what kids can't learn in school. This is for kids about 8 and 10 and up, and their parents or grandparents. If they read them together, that's even better.
I love that.
This one, I went from no book, never having written a book, to having 100 copies in my hand and being live on Kindle and everything else in 100 days.
Wow.
With this one.
Amazing.
This one, I made the decision last October that it was time to write it, and in 100 days, I went from no book, just starting it, to #1 international best-selling book.
Wow.
With this one. So
you know, I
learned
that.
a few things in between, and so there were some tricks that I was able to apply to make it happen faster, but they're both 100-day books.
Now, were the grandkids excited when Mini-Me Inc. came out?
You know what's so fascinating is that same little granddaughter, I took it over and gave her a signed copy of it, and she immediately sat down and started reading. She didn't even take a breath for about 30 or 40 pages, and I'm thinking, yes, I got it.
Wow. You know, it's funny, one time I was babysitting a couple of years ago, and there was a 5-year-old little girl, and her father's a famous thought leader, and I was putting her to bed, and she had The Secret, the book The Secret, next to her bed.
Sure.
So I laid down, and she goes, I would like you to read me The Secret. And she goes, but just the part on finances and relationships. And I nearly came out of my skin. I thought it was so cute. Here's this little 5-year-old, wanting this information. But I think it is so important to start with children at an early age and teach them, leadership skills and life skills and manifesting and all of those things.
You look at the kids that have done that and where they are at 40 or 50 years old in their life compared to those of us that had to learn it. Because the reality is I came from a very different place than that. Go back with me 20 years ago. I'm going fishing with my younger brother and his boss. They're both counselors. They deal with troubled youth that have been in detention and other kinds of things. And his boss didn't know me very well, so he's asking me questions. It's a 3.5-hour drive each way. He's asking me questions. And after he asked me questions for a while, he stops and he says, you're the only person I've ever met with your background who's never been to prison. Why is that?
Wow.
And I'm going, wow, what am I supposed to do with that? But as I thought about it, I realized it's because of the self-leadership skills that I developed.
Yes.
That's the reason that so far I've avoided prison.
Fascinating. Well, so you're a nice person.
There's nothing imminent right now, so I think I'm going to make it happen. But that's really the key. It is that powerful.
Fantastic.
It's that powerful.
Yeah.
Those skills are that powerful.
I love that, and I love that you put it in a book, and it's obviously being well received if it's on the bestseller list.
Sure.
So fantastic. Well, how can our viewers find you if they're interested in connecting or learning more about self-leadership? What's the best way to contact you?
Well, the first thing you got to learn how to do is spell my name. It's Kevin with a C, C-E-V-I-N. Last name is Ormond, O-R-M-O-N-D. Just like Osmond, only with an R instead of an S, if you know Donnie and Marie and all of that.
Yes.
And so it's Kevin Ormond. And you can get books and stuff on Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com or whatever. They're all over those places. I have KevinOrmond.com, which of course is mine. Kevin Ormond Speaks is my Facebook page. Go there and give a few likes if you want. At Kevin Orr is Twitter and Periscope. And I also have, I'm doing some webinars, okay? Because this is really two different things. This is kind of a crossover because you see you're crossing into the adults and then you're crossing into the kids. And so I've got, if you go to leadershipcrossings.com, then you can sign up for some free webinars. One on Me Inc. and for adults, and the other on Mini Me Inc. for kids.
Fantastic.
And if you want to sign up for both of them, that's fine too.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for sharing this beautiful message in the world.
You bet. Thank you. And I just hope that, because that's what we really need is more leadership, because that's where the leverage is. The predictors of success, emotional intelligence is 27-1, depending on who you ask, point for point, as a predictor of success over IQ.
Yes.
And LQ, I've never seen anybody measure it, but it is my contention that that's another 27-1 above EQ. It's that powerful.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that wisdom, and we will be right back with another incredible guest.